So the advice was to keep in the sand dunes by day and then try to get across the beaches and into the sea, and hopefully you'll be picked up. If you can swim, swim for it, because you'll see, you'll be able to see boats various sizes. Hopefully you'll be picked up. If you can't swim, stay in the sea, and you'll have to trust to luck. So this is what we did, and we arrived in some sand dunes, and there was already troops in there, but we got to us. There was 11 of us in our party. We've been together ever since the war started. We were all good pals, all good mates, all trying to help one another. A couple of us were really in a really bad way, but the rest were not too bad. But now I'm a good swimmer, so we talked it over, and they said any of us who feels confident enough to be able to swim out to in the distance, we could see the outline of bigger, 2 or 3 bigger ships in the far distance out at sea, and hopefully they'd be sending small craft to try to pick us up. So we talked it over, and I was the only one who felt confident enough to start swimming. So they said, go on, keep a place for us. You go. No good. You'll be one less for the boat. You'll be one less to be picked up. This is what we talked about, and I wanted to get away because I could see that what was going to happen. The German shells were already landing on the coast road. They were ranging on the coast road, and sooner or later they'd increase their range and they'd be hitting the sand dunes. And in the next place to us was 3 or 4 chaps who'd been there for 2 days. And I said, we were talking to them. They said, we've tried. We stood in the sea all half the night, and then had to come back before it got dark, back into the sand dunes. I thought, well, I'm not going to have this if I can help it. So I thought, well, off came my boots, off came my battle dress jacket. All I had on was shirt and trousers, and I set off and I raced down the beach and into the sea. And what I can remember, looking back, what I can remember is as soon as I ran into the sea, the feeling of tiredness, the feeling of exhaustion left me, and I felt fresh, and I started swimming. I swam for about 20 minutes. This was about 4 o'clock in the morning. Dark. It was May. The water was cold, but the water was stilled. It was like a sea of olive oil. It wasn't a ripple. And I've been swimming for about 20 minutes, and I must have done about half a mile or so out from the shore. And I stopped and treading water just to get my bearings, to see if I was swimming in the right direction. And I could see in the distance a tiny light, and I could hear a pop, 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 pop of like a motor launch. So I started swimming towards that, and when I got nearer, it was a motor launch, and it was towing 5 or 6 small boats, dinghies I suppose, towing behind it. And I was the first one. The motor launch stopped. They reached down, dragged me into the motorboat, and I flopped down in the somewhere in the bottom of the boat, and there was a young officer forward, and there was a rating aft, and the rating was doing all the shouting. He seemed to be conducting affairs, and then we carried on towards the shore from where I'd just swum from. And I thought this was a bit ironic till I was on board.